Okay, I talk a lot, so I'm probably going to go over. Just warning you. So quick background, so Origin Code Academy is a San Diego-based 12-week coding boot camp, as an high overview. I think it makes sense to kind of go over my background. I started an app previously, sold it a year ago December, and went to a code school myself. So I've actually been through a code school. It was done poorly at the code school that I went to, so that's actually how Origin started. So just kind of a background as to why Origin came about. Cameron is our instructor at Origin. We actually just hired another instructor who might be here. I actually met him at this meetup, so that was pretty cool. So that's a little bit about Cameron. I kind of want to talk about the most important thing is kind of our mission. So I guess what makes us different. My only concern is that our students get jobs afterwards. That's really all that I care about. So we kind of reverse engineer that process. So the number one question I get is, why do you guys, we teach .NET framework with C#. Number one question I get is, why would you do that? That is such a boring language. People say that all the time. So the reason we do that is the openings in San Diego, if you search any job engine, or we actually went out to employers in San Diego when we started the code school and went to see what the most available job positions were in, and they were in C# and .NET. As a result, that's what we teach in our class, and kind of some logic as to why we teach it. We also teach JavaScript as well for the first half of the course, but that's the main reason that we do it. This is just another chart that supports what I'm saying, basically. So kind of the .NET and C# angle. Every Friday we have companies come into our class to kind of give experience of, we either have a CTO, a co-founder or founder of a company, or a senior developer. So these are companies that either our students have gotten hired at or that have been guest speakers in our classroom. If you're a senior developer or a CTO and want to come be a guest speaker at our class, we have, I think, just 2 more openings in this cohort, but moving forward, we always need guest speakers. I can guarantee you'll never have a crowd that's more focused and enthusiastic about what you're talking about. We have a lot of guest speakers that want to come back multiple times. We actually have a lot of guest speakers in the audience. And Heather and Michael have been guest speakers too. So it's really just a Q&A format if you want to come and talk kind of about how you learned how to code and your experience, but it really gives them a feel for what the job market's actually like, because all they want to know is what it's like to be a senior developer. So you'll have their undivided attention. Quick overview, 9 to 5 each day. In the morning is kind of the teaching portion. Afternoons kind of the either do pair programming, mob programming, or programming by yourself on the individual project. Fridays are the only day that's different. That's when we have a guest speaker. And then at the very end, April 1st will be our demo day, which will be the students get to pick a project that they're passionate about and build that using all the technologies that we've taught. So that will be April 1st if anyone wants to come down. This is more of a slide. It's kind of what we show students coming into the class, because there's a big misconception that everybody coming out of the code school is going to make 6 figures right away. So we make it very clear to the students that that is not the case. We've had students where that has been the case, so it kind of makes it harder not to, like, we want to overemphasize that that is not typically the case. So the average salary of a junior developer in San Diego is $59,000. So that's kind of what, in terms of the expectations that we set with students, I'm pretty skeptical in general of of almost everything. So I like to set realistic expectations for the students when they come to the class. We're just down the street. We're in the same building as Evo Nexus. It's $12,000 for the course. We partner with a couple of financing companies that do that. Everybody can drop out the first 2 weeks. I want to clarify on the 100% of students have gotten jobs. In full transparency, we've had 1 graduating class. So we're working through our second class now. The first class, there were 6 students. This class started with 16. So everybody, we have a kind of requirements in terms of like showing up on time, showing up at all, finishing the final project, and then completing 10 applications a week for the job portion. So everybody that's completed that portion has gotten a job from the first class. So I just want to be kind of transparent about what that means. And this is kind of the process.
Set here. So
Let me know when you're ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
All right, let's go.
All right. Thanks everybody for coming out. My name is Dan. I work here at Zito. I'm the director of optimization. I lead the front end development team here. On the weekends and at night and everything between, I have a couple of projects that I work on the side. One of them Pitch Pal and the other Cali Burrito, basically the greatest burrito on earth, selling merch online. But today I want to talk about speech recognition. So using the speech recognition API, basically you're able to add speech input to your website. So for instance, the web speech API will let you do a one-shot speech input, or in this case, you can do continuous recording. So a couple of things I can do is ask for it to open up my presentation. Look, Mom, no hands. So while this is fancy and nice and it seems fun, it's definitely not perfect. It's an experimental API. There's also some issues with security as far as on HTTPS. You ask for permission for the microphone once, then after that, you don't need to ask for it again. So if you're going to use this, don't be creepy. You can kind of like listen in after somebody's already given access to the mic. As you can see on the left, it's not great for punctuation and formatting. And then there's also limited browser support. I have a picture of this baby giraffe on here because I feel like it's just as clumsy. It's still kind of learning how to walk and it's not perfect, but it's interesting. So the way that it works, you just initialize the new speech recognition object. This onResult method will handle the transcript that you're getting back, and then you initiate the start. If you haven't given access to it, it'll ask you for permission. And basically what you get back is this object. So the main things in here is the confidence. So that's between 0 or 1, depending on how confident the API is on what it's transcribing. And then you receive the transcript back. And for the continuous recording that I'm running on the left, you can see that you just set a flag to true. And then the interim results is basically the stuff in gray right here that's happening. It's still trying to figure out what I'm saying. And down below, you can see the interim results where it's still trying to process everything that I'm saying, all the different combinations. And then once it actually is confident enough that the transcript is what it thinks it is, it'll return it back. So then you see the gray, it's it figuring it out. And then once I stop, it'll return it back. So if you want to learn more about the speech API or you guys want to mess around with it after the demonstrations, please feel free to hit me up. I think it's pretty interesting. Speech recognition is getting better. You look at how dumb Siri is, but then you also look at some of the companies like Amazon who's coming out with the Echo. It's promising. So I'm hoping that speech recognition, at least for me, becomes better and better so I can become hands-free and kind of save myself from the carpal tunnels or whatever. Thank you.
all right, any questions? Abishay, we've got Rob Kaufman in the batter up chair, and then Gus. Ready?
Ready. How's it going, everyone? I am, as you can see, you guys have had actually probably